Surfing session 239, 2.5 years into my surfing journey. I went out for a surfing session during Hurricane Lee, and here are a few waves that I caught. The waves were forecast to be huge for the day. They were strong winds with 22 mile an hour winds sustained and 40 mile an hour gusts. But at least the wind was offshore, so the waves were well formed, and it was so fun. I went for a sunrise surfing session with friends. I was able to paddle out to the lineup because of all my training. Out there in the lineup, I was able to paddle around to watch some huge set waves come in. They were large A-frame waves and difficult to catch due to the wind. I had hoped to catch some of the big waves out there in the lineup. I caught my breath out there and started to inch back slowly towards the beach in order to catch the waves closer to where they were breaking. I was able to catch several good-sized green or unbroken waves for several steep drop-ins. Because the wind was so strong, I really had to position myself at the critical point, right where the white water triangles were showing the waves were breaking there. The salt water ocean sea spray was in my eyes and the wind was in my face. And later in the day, the sunlight created a lot of glare against the ocean, so I was almost popping up blinded as I paddled and popped up. I had to react quickly to several people in the way, with a few S carves on the wave. When I dropped in, I was able to take a few bottom turns both to the left and to the right, and do a few carving turns or a few speed generation moves. My board was so fast on these waves. I took out my 9-foot 2-inch solid LHP. That's a longboard high performance. It's a high performance longboard. It was fun. It was long enough to give me enough paddling volume, so I was able to paddle out to the lineup, and also it helped me to paddle in to catch the waves. It's not as easy to turn as a shortboard, so I didn't want to nosedive with such a long board. I had to use the angled takeoff on these waves, as you can see. Since it was high volume, I also couldn't duck dive this board. So while I was paddling out, I needed to do several turtle rolls often, especially when I was paddling around in the impact zone, or I would just punch through the wave and do a push-up position on the board. As I get better, I want to be able to buy a shortboard that I can use to paddle on big days like this, and I want to be able to duck dive them under the waves. My rides were fairly short, especially if the wave closed out quickly, and I wanted to end my rides so that I would stay out there in the lineup. But let's be honest, I also lost balance on several of these waves due to the speed of my surfboard combined with the strong winds in my face. It was such an awesome adventure. I want to give a shout out to my surfing friends who joined me for Hurricane Lee. My friends and I tried to stay nearby each other while giving each other enough space to catch waves and paddle safely. For several waves I caught, I heard them cheering me on, and I cheered for them too as I saw them catch waves. Thanks for coming out with me, guys. You know who you are. You know who you are. Do you have any friendly tips for surfing on big hurricane days? I'm still learning, and I hope to get better riding these larger waves. But I was really happy to be able to catch some waves and have these steep drop-ins. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click like, comment, or subscribe. This is part of my surfing progression playlist on YouTube. Please share any friendly comments in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.